Welcome to the Chase parking lot in Studio City, Los Angeles, California. This is my car, and I'm very excited to be here on stream with you.
So tell us right now, Mr. Ray, why are you streaming from your car?
Well, I left LA for a little place in the countryside called Pine Mountain, and I live there full time. And I only come out here for in-person sessions. We got this little cabin right before COVID started. It's like a weekend place, and then COVID happened, and we were like, let's stop living in LA and just live in the cabin in the woods. And so we do that now full time, and we come out to Los Angeles probably about once a week for stuff. I just got the mail, just went to the bank, gonna have a session. You just do what you can. So far it's working out, and we'll see when LA opens up again. I'll see if we can move back.
So the diva waifu loves that you're in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that was a very cool role.
When I read that, I'm like, he's in FFXV. What the fuck is that? I am so terrible at these things. Tell me about that, because you play a pretty awesome character.
I play Prince Noctis in Final Fantasy 15. That was my first like big role. It's weird to say like came out in 2016, so about 4 or 5 years ago, because it came out right at the very end. And then that means I was working on it 7 years ago, which is crazy. It still feels like not much time has passed, but time keeps flying forward. It was it was the role of a lifetime. You get to play a main character in such a high quality game, and the people who we worked on it. I don't know if you worked with Keith Farley, but he's just an absolutely incredible director. Just really, he comes from theater, so he really knows what kind of information an actor needs and how to get the right performance, how to talk to an actor. Just an awesome dude.
So when you booked this, did you know it was going to be huge? Because sometimes we don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely knew it was going to be a huge thing. I had a callback, and I was super nervous, and I did apparently very badly at the callback, but I still did okay enough to book the role. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Worked on the demo for about 5 or 6 sessions, and then the demo came out, and I was like, oh man, I want to be able to announce this. They don't have the cast. Can I announce? And Keith said they're thinking of recasting. Hold off on that for a second. I was like, recasting? No, this is terrible. The voice that we used was too close to another guy in it, and so they were like, let's find somebody else. And Keith stood up for me and said, Ray can do different voices. Can you give him a shot? And I was able to audition over the course of a month, re-audition for the part.
Jesus.
It was wild, very scary, very tumultuous time. That was very hard. But I thank Keith for standing up. I mean, I don't know if you've been recast and stuff, but it's just something that happens, and you're usually not even told.
You're not.
Just comes out and you go, what? Oh, yeah. I guess I wasn't good enough or something.
You're just told we went in a different direction, and they don't even give you a chance to So this was 2016, but you had been pursuing voice acting or working how many years before that? You're a really young dude. I've stalked your IMDb, and you have 95 video game credits, not total credits, video game credits.
Yeah, that sounds
One would
about
think
right.
you're 55. You're not. So tell me about where this came in terms of like your career and how you were feeling about like you were working constantly. Were you waiting tables and then this happened? Like where are we at this point in Ray's?
For Final Fantasy. So at that point, so what I did was I went to school, I did acting, all that sort of stuff, and then I became a mixologist. I like really got into the freaking mixology scene in Los Angeles. I was a bar back for some of the greatest bartenders in the world, and they taught me so much. And I read books and like learned the history and really like did craft cocktails, and I really loved it. It was fun. It was great making things really slowly. You make less money that way instead of just pouring stuff in a club, but you're just able to have amazing conversations with people and make something really wonderful. I fell in love with it, and then I was like, hold on a second, don't fall too much in love. This is supposed to be your day job. And so
night job though, really? Were you mixology during the day?
Both. Yeah, I
Okay.
did break and stuff like that. And I I saved up enough money for 2 months of living without a job, and so I quit bartending and I said I'm gonna try to be a voice actor in 2 months, see what I can do. And
That's ballsy.
yeah, it was pretty ballsy. And what ended up happening was it made me really work hard. And so I just did every opportunity. I did all the workshops. I did so much stuff. And right at the end of the 2 months, I did a casting workshop with a place called Voice Caster, which doesn't do these workshops anymore, which sucks. But it was like $10 for a workout group. You show up and they give notes on auditions that you do. And it was super helpful. And on the third time that I went, they were like, do you have a demo? And I said, yeah, I made one myself. And they sent it to somebody, whoever was working on Coke Zero at the time. And they auditioned
Cool.
for to be the voice of Coke Zero. And I ended up booking it, and that let me have enough of a financial runway to keep going.
Okay, so the other like you also work on a bunch of other projects like well, Fire Emblem, and then Bruno in JJ's Big Adventure, Juju's, Jing Jing's, JJ Jablo.
There is a Jujutsu Kaisen.
There
this
is
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is
JoJo's.
a very fantastic show. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that, because it's a really popular show.
Yeah, I love that show. I remember I worked on season 1. I mean, what's weird? So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is unlike any other anime. It's its own thing. And it always takes place in very exotic locations for an anime, so it's very unusual. Has a very particular art style. Very big emphasis on music references and just weirdness. There's lots of very weird superpowers going on. Like my character can unzip anything. That's his power. The power to unzip stuff. Yes, it is very weird.
Sounds dirty.
They never really do it. If he ever unzips himself, there's just like black holes inside him, so you never see him naked.
That's hilarious. But he can unzip other things, and that's where you go, we're just gonna.
Yes, he can like zip his way through a wall, so he can walk through it. It comes in handy.
Okay. Not like regular zippers that are on people. It can be zippers into like a stratosphere.
So it's a very silly show, and I played a bunch of characters in season 1. I had no idea what it was, didn't think about it, and then the show got more popular, and I was like, oh, what is this? What did I do? And then I watched it, and I was like, this is really good, and I watched all the seasons up to that point, and really enjoyed it. And when I'm in season 5, it's a whole new cast of characters every season, and when the auditions came out, I spent a long time on it because I really wanted my guy I ended up getting, who's Bruno. He's a very, very cool character.
What does he sound like?
Bruno Bucciarati, arrivederci. He's like a deep kind of voice, like kind of this guy.
But is he British and then says stuff in Italian?
He's not British. No. Oh. He's just he's Italian, but they did not want to do accents on the show, which was a good idea. Having everybody do sound like Mario would be a very bad.
Do you feel like a lot of your characters are in a specific range, or it's kind of like all over?
It's really all over. I mean, Roy's our boy. He's way up here. And then I'm Sire Denathrius in World of Warcraft, and he's down here. And then I play Etrigan the Demon in Warner Brothers, what's it, DC something. But they're all way down there. And then Noctis is right here. So I play a lot of like pretty anime boys who speak like this. So all over the place. I really do try to make each character sound very different from each other. There's only one character that uses my normal voice, and that's Master of Masters from Kingdom Hearts. I just speak normally, and that's the only one that's true.
The only one that's Ray coming out.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you about, Jujutsu Kaisen. You did, in your text, you said Jujutsu Jaden. I think it went into autocorrect.
That's
so I was like, I don't think that's correct. Talk to me about Sukuna.
This is a fun character because it's a great show. It's really well animated, it's well paced, the fights are good, and I play this 9,000-year-old demon who has separated his body into 20 fingers, and if you eat one of his fingers, he resides in you, and once you eat all 20, he will burst out and take over the world. It's a wild thing.
That's
So
disgusting.
I'm a demon who lives inside this kid's body, and he doesn't sound anime. It's not an anime voice. It's very, it's like this kind of, I don't remember a goddamn line that he says, but this kind of voice doesn't appear in anime that often. And I love just
It's kind of
being
sexy and
super
creepy.
weird. Yeah, it's sexy and creepy is exactly what I was going for. Yeah.
Ooh. It's
So I
like
do enjoy
David Bowie in the Labyrinth. He's sexy and creepy.
Yes, exactly. I love your David Bowie mug too. Shout out to DB.
Yeah, but somebody did mention Alphonse.
Alphonse, I love that dude. He's
Who's
great.
Alphonse?
Who's Alphonse? Why, he's the main character of a game called Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, okay. Which ties into another question: how you got that audition and that whole story. So feel free to
That one's that's
expand.
an easy story that I feel like everybody's heard before, but probably not your fans.
Not me. So indulge
Yeah,
me.
I was a big fan of Super Smash Brothers when I was a kid. I played a lot of the original and Melee. And one of my favorite characters was this dude named Roy, who's a Fire Emblem from a series called Fire Emblem, which at the time was not localized in America. He spoke Japanese only. He was just this weird mystery character that as a kid, you're like, who the F is this red-haired kid? He's really cool and his sword's on fire, and I loved him. And then I flash forward to being a voice actor, got this audition for a new game, and I auditioned for this character, Alphonse, who's the main character in the game, and he sounds like this: Fire Emblem Heroes. He's like kind of nerdy, but super young, and he. I show up for this session, and there's not a whole lot of lines in this game. It's a mobile game, and I threw down his voice, and then they said, we'd also like you to voice match another character named Gaius from another game. So I just did that off the cuff, and they were like, while you're here and we still have time, we'd like you to try a character named Roy. And I was like, Roy from Smash Brothers? That Roy? They're like, yeah, never voiced before in English. Gave it a shot, and I couldn't believe that they ended up using me for that. That was just the weirdest, wildest luck, crazy sort of thing. Auditioning for another character and then having them throw you something that you've known about your whole life. That means so much to me.
So apparently, every time somebody subs to to Lava, you scream.
Yes, it's the Roy, specifically the Roy KO where he gets thrown off the map, and it's a very loud, horrible yell.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I mean, Zoom will probably cut it out, but
okay.
Something like that.
Dude, there was a crazy echo that just happened. That was kind of rad. It did not get cut out. That was amazing. So who the hell is Nier in Nier Replicant? Or Nier?
Nier is the main character in an upcoming game that was released 10 years ago, but now being remade with the original lead character. It's very confusing. And I play Nier, who is very similar to Noctis in voice. It's another kind of guy like this, soft-spoken. And that was another wild thing. I was in the game Nier Automata, which came out a few years before. I played the bad guy named Eve, and then the auditions came out for Nier Replicant, and I was not asked to audition because I was in the previous game. But they went through everybody, and they couldn't find what they were looking for. And John Ricciardi, who was the lead on that, the main on the other side of the glass, he remembered me and was like, maybe we bring Ray in, let's see. And he brought me into audition. They really liked me. But then that day, this was like also another one of those month-long casting processes where they were auditioning me, doing a lot of retakes. One of them was at the Nier soundtrack, what's it called? The orchestral concert, which was in Los Angeles at the Microsoft Center. And I had gotten tickets, super excited, gonna go see it with my friend. But I was also auditioning for this project at the same freaking time. And I got there. I had given my tickets to a fan who wanted it in a sweepstakes, did that, ran back home because Yoko Taro, the creator, was asking for more auditions, went back home, did some re-records, went back and sat right behind the leads of the previous game, Kyle and Kira, and was like, what the hell, am I going to be a part of this franchise again? Am I going to be and all the screen is just playing like images of Nier and stuff, and I'm like,
Oh,
am I going to be a part of this? This is crazy. I don't know what to do. Super fraught night. Then I met the creator backstage afterwards. We didn't talk about it. I just kept it. I was just like, better to just be, slightly awkward and then go home and think about this for the rest of my life. And then I found out like 2 weeks later that they ended up casting me.
2
Just
weeks.
a crazy night. That was very scary.
Guys, thank you for watching. This was really fun. Ray, thank you for sitting in your car, man, to do this.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you, Carolina, for doing this and keeping the questions going. Like, I've done some of these where like people don't know how to interview and you're just sitting there and like kind of keeping it going, but you always do. You have a great sense of time for this, and I really appreciate that.
Ray, you should leave on a rhyme with some etrigan. What's that?
Oh, etrigan. Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your stream. This entire hour has passed like a dream.
There you go.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, guys. Thank you for keep booming and booping. That's my thing.